we will be talking about how to regulate your nervous system. Hi, beautiful. So, I'm currently by the water, and for the whole day, I've been wanting to share something that's quite vulnerable. And at first, I wanted to do it as a full on podcast that I wouldn't be filming myself, right? But then I decided that it would be actually fun to film myself as I talk about this very specific subject. So, we're gonna dive into it, and before we do so, I want to welcome you if it's their first time here and say hi. I make holistic, natural content for sacred women and as well as men. And truly, I'm here to give you what I know and to elevate the earth's consciousness. So, this is going to be a very, very fun video to make, and I'm very excited to talk about this very specific subject because it's actually something that is quite vulnerable for me to speak about, and I've never talked about this anywhere on my socials, on any channels. I have never talked about this subject, and I'm very excited to dive into it. I feel like it is really worth sharing as I have overcome something that was in my life for so long. So, yes. So, today we will be talking about how to regulate your nervous system, and I am talking about from a place of experience and from a place of acquired wisdom on this subject. And it is a continuous process. It is never ending. You always discover new ways to regulate, to thrive in your life. So this is a continuous process, but with what I currently know, I'm very, very happy to share. And it is very exciting, actually. So I'm currently 22 years young. In these years, when I was about 8 years old, I started to really have physical showings of how my nervous system was imbalanced. It was out of balance. And when you are in this easiness, when you have a disease, your body first, before it shows physically, it shows internally. So it always starts within. Everything is within. So before it became physical, in this physical three-dimensional reality, it was internal. So there was a spiritual disconnection from my state of being at that precise moment, and I was very disconnected, and my body became showing it in a physical way. So I was doing something that you could call a tic. So that being said, it is currently there is a scientific name for this, and it is trichotillomania, if I'm correct. And so it's basically when you pull your hair out of stress and it becomes unconscious. So you actually do it unconsciously, which is very harmful. And so it's basically hurting yourself unconsciously. And I've really, really worked on this. And I'm going to explain how I've overcome this, because my hair used to be like this, and it is now fully like this. It is now completely to its natural state, and there is no tick anymore, and there is no physical showingness of this imbalance, although we are always healing. How to overcome a nervous system that is dysregulated? You really have to work through somatic practices. So it really is through the body that you will regulate your nervous system, because it is your body. You have to connect yourself back to your body. The body is the seat of wisdom. Through the body, you will acquire the information that you need to evolve, to elevate, to heal properly. The body is the seat of wisdom, and I will never say this enough. I started to really work because it really started from 8 years old, approximately, about when I was 8 till about, I would say, 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I fully was able to stop. There was nothing that could make me do it again? Absolutely nothing. And for quite a while after I stopped, I would have dreams that would show me, there was still wounds inside of me about this phase of my life, because it was such a big phase of my life, and there was so much shame around me doing so, around how it would make my body look. Your hair are antennas, so you receive and you give through your hair as well. So they are a really important part of us as human beings. So, because everything has a purpose, right? You don't have hair just to have hair and look good. There is a purpose. You have nails for a purpose. We have everything for a purpose, right? So, that being said, I'm very, very, it's kind of, how could I say, really exposing myself, really opening myself to being vulnerable on platforms, on these channels, which I've never really been before, because that was always something that was more hidden. I am a Scorpio moon, so that means that my emotional world is very private, and so doing so right now for me is taking up quite of a opening. It's a remembering moment. So there's so many ducks. Oh my god, hi. So you really have to go through a lot of somatic work, and not only this, but you really have to want it. Good ways to regulate the nervous system, and things that I personally did to regulate my nervous system and overcome this movement that was incurred and really was part of my regular life. First, what I did, I tried so many things. Truly, it was really something that I wanted to stop, that I wanted it to be out completely of my life. I tried so many things. I tried a watch that remembers the movements. So it's a very intelligent watch that remembers the movement of your arm going up, and as you do the movement, it actually vibrates. It's about bringing awareness to how you are doing it, right? To what you are doing. So that was something that actually did not help for me. And the woman that created this watch had the exact same disease as I did at that moment. Sorry if I do this, but she had the exact same disease that I did, and she created this watch to bring awareness to the movement so that people can overcome this disease. I tried so many medications that to truly put it to perspective, I tried, I think, 3 different medications for this specific disease. And that would come with so many other things like on top of it, because if the nervous system is really dysregulated, then your whole life is dysregulated. Your whole life is out of balance. The nervous system is truly a place of anchoring and balance within our bodies, so we really have to connect to it and develop our own personal ways to regulate it. Let's go back to what I did. So that was the first thing. I had watches, I tried medication, I also tried to manifest it. I tried to manifest it so much. I wrote like how I wanted it to end, and I really poured my heart into ending and removing this action out of my life. And it escalated to also me then smoking, because when you have a really dysregulated nervous system, it shows in literally every aspect of your life. So I started smoking, and I smoked for about 7 years, if I'm being truly honest, and I stopped about a year ago. I stopped vaping, smoking weed about a couple months ago, vaping about a year ago. The reason why I was mainly smoking was because there was a uneasiness within my body. There was this feeling of unease, of not being comfortable doing nothing, and also a lot of unprocessed emotions. Basically, you have to really be ready to feel a lot of emotions. Whether it being good or bad, you have to be ready to feel a lot, because once you connect with your body and work through somatic practices, you actually develop this sensitivity to life around you. to the emotions that you feel and to your body. And I am still working on this. I'm gonna be really, really, really honest. I'm still working on this because recently I've had a uterus problem. And so I'm speaking from experience, but I'm being transparent to the fact that we are evolving and that I am still working on this. But the main reason why I'm sharing about somatic practices is because it really changed the whole trajectory of my life. That was one of the main things that truly changed my life. And a way that really worked for me was through acupuncture. And before I started acupuncture, I started to work through acupressure points myself. And it was that unlocked everything, and it is a compound effect. Doing so many things for this specific thing to happen is going to make this thing happen. So the compound effect is basically a bunch of action compiled to arrive to a specific point, a specific place in your life. So the compound effect is basically in everything. The more you think bad thoughts, the more bad things are going to happen in your life. The more you stay positive, the more you will radiate positivity and you will receive positivity. But don't forget that the universe, though, tests us. The universe tests us in so many ways. So it tests us, are you really positive? Do you really want what you want? It's absolutely enormous, the amount of emotions that I personally felt once I started to work on these pressure points. Because pressure points are basically, the way that I see it is that in your body there is all of these vessels, these nodules, right? And acupuncture actually revives and unblocks energy that is stagnant is in specific places of your body. Our body is the seat of wisdom, I'm telling you. So if you have back problems, there is something related. You have something unbalanced. You can go do acupuncture, but the more that you are light, the more that you eat light food and living food, the more that it will work. And that is something that I've seen on my personal body. So when I started acupuncture, I was eating fully alkaline food. Alkaline food, not raw alkaline food, but cooked as well. So cooked alkaline food as well. And truly, I saw the first time that I went to the acupuncture how it hit me. I had to take 3 days fully off everything. I could not be on my phone. It would hurt my mind. I could not do anything. It truly brought me back to the ground, to the earth. And I am, if you know a bit about Ayurveda, I am a Vata Prakti. So my dominant element within my body, that is just my dominant element, is air and ether. So that means that I'm more hairy and more in the space of the element of space. There was an imbalance in the element of Kapha, which is the element of earth. So for a big part of my life, I was unbalanced in the element of earth, meaning that I was ungrounded. And this knowing brings so much compassion because, when I discovered that I was ungrounded, before even knowing about Ayurveda, I really would know a lot of things, but the main thing was that I was ungrounded. I had a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, but I was ungrounded. And some people around me really made me feel bad to not be grounded. And truly, that's just something that we all move at our own pace, and maybe the persons that are around me are dominant in the earth element. So maybe at a very young age, when they were birthed into this earth as earth angels, they were here as more grounded beings. And for me, I guess it was just something that I had to work on a lot more. Maybe they have to work more on being spontaneous and creative peoples, and bring more creativity within their life. It really brings compassion because we are all so different. And different things suits our bodies. The thing is that we have unique mind and body systems, but we are all connected to the same source. we don't have an individual self. This is an illusion, but anyways, that's for another. Sometimes I go way too deep into rabbit holes, but let's go back to how I regulated my nervous system. So somatic work is so important, and really this is the main way that I regulated my nervous system, through somatic work. So being aware of your body, touching your body to places that you've never touched your body before. That really brings awareness to how you are maybe disconnected or connected with your body. Touching your body to places that you've never touched before, because in our body there is emotions that stays in every place of our bodies, whether it is processed or not. Unprocessed emotions stangs in the body. So touching the body and moving the body in ways that you've never before. Just letting your body move and take over your mind. Even though it looks crazy, just let it move. Let it move and unstang the energy and let it flow back. And that's one thing that acupuncture does as well. It actually comes and moves the chi, moves the vital energy. It moves the life energy. So we are made of prana, of life force energy. And acupuncture will come and put a needle to some place to bring back the flow within your body. And what actually changed my life, as I was pulling my hair with the hand of the masculine side mainly, I brought awareness to places that I never before. And what it did is that it actually unlocked so many emotions. There was so many emotions that came to the surface after I actually brought awareness to places of my body that I never before. And at that moment, I had to take a couple of days as well. Sometimes you have to take days to really just integrate the emotions that you just processed. And I had to take days to actually process what happened, the emotions that I felt. And sometimes you don't know where the emotions comes from, but you just process it. And for some people, they have to know why and what the emotions are. But for me, for some reason, I just have to process it, and it's just gone. And that is a gift that I'm truly blessed to have. But bring awareness to your body. Touch, move your body in ways that you've never before. Acupuncture is such a great way to bring awareness to the body. And it also allows you to really just ground yourself. And it moves your life force energy so much and so well. And you know how, as women and men, the hips are the place within the body that stangs and contains the most emotions, especially the muscle called the psoas. And the hips overall contain so much emotions. It's absolutely interesting how when I went to acupuncture, she really worked on my hip, on my feminine side of the body, and which is the left side. So the right side of the brain is controlling the left side of the body, and the right side of the brain is the feminine side. The left side of the brain is the masculine side. So the left side of your body is the masculine side, and the left side of your body is the feminine side of your body, and the right side of your body is the masculine side of the body. All that to say that she worked on my hip, and it released so much emotion, and it does hurt. Acupuncture can hurt, but not in a bad way. It is a pain for a growth. It is one of the best investments I've done to go to acupuncture, and the first 10 appointments were life-changing. Especially the first 3-4, but then you go as you go, and those would be my recommendation. And also being more aware of what you consume. That means not only food, but also being aware of what you consume on your phones, on social media, being aware of what you consume in general. What you consume becomes part of your field. The more you consume something, the more you want something, the more you have something in your life, the more it actually becomes part of your energy field, the more you actually become what you consume. So yeah, I think it's really important to consume food that are the closest to their origin form, and also just food that make you feel well and that don't feed the diseases. And I'm not just talking about food that are alkaline, I'm talking about food that are living. So just a plant-based lifestyle is absolutely amazing. And being aware of what you consume, being aware of what goes in your body, in and outside, as within and so without. So it's really important. And I think that would be all for what I have to say for regulating the nervous system and bringing awareness to the body. It is a journey, so be mindful of it being a journey. Patience is something that has to be within you. You have to be patient and trust that it will leave. It will. We can heal anything. Anything. So I wish you a beautiful sunny day wherever you are. I truly am sending you my love and abundance and so much grace into your life, and I wish you a beautiful day, and I absolutely am grateful that you are here with me and that you listen to my voice. Kisses. Bye, beautiful.